Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in to this video today. I really appreciate it. So today I'm going to talk about Good Will Hunting, which I believe is a masterclass in character writing. So Good Will Hunting is a drama and romance film written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, who also starred in the movie. It is directed by Gus Van Sant. This is one of the most moving films I've ever seen. Look, I like characters. It is the number one thing I look out for stories, maybe in film or TV or storybooks. Characters is what I look out for the most, and this film has some great characters in it. Both our main protagonists, Will Hunting, and many of our side characters are amazing. It even has my favorite Robin Williams character in it, and Robin Williams has played so many incredible characters. This film is such a great character study of Will Hunting. Will Hunting, played by Matt Damon, lives in this horrible house and has had a rough past due to his foster parents. And many other things as well. I'll get to that later. He usually hangs out with his friends, and Will Hunting is also a genius. But his character also comes with a contradiction. He's a genius, but he does not go to school, and he's just a janitor who even went to prison once. That this contradiction makes his character more complex, and that is just such brilliant writing for a character. To Will Hunting, jobs like janitor, construction worker, and car washers are the kind of jobs that he goes towards. He even call them honorary jobs because mainly he wants to stay where he lives stay with his friends, and also he believes that he does not want to be a lab rat. So that's another reason why he turned down the $84,000 job. He has issues trusting people. Okay, this is all from what from the movie what Robin Williams' character Sean has said, which again encapsulate his character very well. So I'm going to quote what he said, but I'm going to paraphrase a bit here and there. He has issues trusting people because he was abandoned by his parents. He hangs out with his friends even though they are not that smart and not that nice. They are like gorillas, like what the professor said, because they are loyal to him. He's alone and pushes people away because he's afraid they will reject him. A lot of these things about his character make sense because of his past and the things he went through. These are all very relatable flaws. Despite having the gift of being a genius, he has a lot of these issues underneath. This is something that I believe modern Hollywood, especially for female characters, lack a lot. Like Captain Marvel has no flaws. She's made into this flawless character, and they expect us to like her character. And there's so many recent characters like Rey. Rey is another character with literally not much flaws at all. She's a Mary Sue. So yeah, and I get that they are meant to be very strong, but you can at least add some flaws into them. Like look at this movie. Will Hunting is a genius. He's a literal genius, but he comes with very relatable flaws. So I hope that more female characters in modern Hollywood will tend to have more flaws that are relatable in future of Hollywood. So despite having the gift of being a genius, there's a lot of issues underneath, which is such great character work. Robin Williams' character Sean plays his therapist to help out Will Hunting with his issues. Sean, lost his wife 2 years ago before he met Will Hunting, and he misses her very dearly. Throughout the entire film, you can see how much he misses her. When Will badmouths about his wife, Sean goes to strangle him. I mean, look at this. He's a therapist. He's meant to help his patients, but this man strangled his patient just for badmouthing his wife. And before that, he was very calm, but when he spoke about his wife, something turned on inside of him. That's how much he loved her. And not just that, he says he doesn't want to get remarried because his wife is gone. And also how he missed a very important game match just to go to a bar with his wife. This shows how much he just loves his wife. And he even quit his job to be with his wife in her final years in the hospital because of her cancer or illness. Then there's Gary, played by Stellan Skarsgård. Gary is this mathematician who won many awards. He's also classmates with Sean. Gary believes that he should push Will Hunting and make him the best at math, or at least make him achieve some goals like awards or something, because he's a genius and his potential should not be ignored, it should be reached, which was what he did to himself. He pushed himself to become better and won many awards. And now Will Hunting has come, and he's a genius. He's smarter than the Professor Gary himself. So he wants to push him forward. Sean, on the other hand, let's just say he although he was in the same school, same class as Gary, he became a therapist instead because that's what he wanted to do. That's what he wanted to become. And he thinks that's best for Will Hunting as well, to become what he wants to become. There's a very interesting conflict between these two, and that's just so interesting. It just makes the story even better. Then there's also Will Hunting's friends. They aren't in much runtime of the film, but there's still some development in them, like especially Chucky, played by Ben Affleck. He was one of the deciding factors for Will to join a prestigious work, because Chucky, told him that one day he wishes that when he goes up to that door, when he knocks, you're not around, because you would have gone to some prestigious job, because he's a genius, and yeah, that's where he belongs and things like that. His potential should not be undermined here. And yeah, so he became one of those deciding factors. This film also comes with a very interesting love story, one between Will and Skylar, and the other between Sean and his wife. Sean gives him a lot of advice and stories, that not only for his romance but for his life itself, to help Will Hunting, and we see Will Hunting grow as a character due to that. And we also see some growth in Gary and Sean as well, how these two, who started off very quite a bit hostile to one another, grew to become, by the end of the film, a bit more friendly to one another. We see Will even stole Sean's line at the end of the film, because Sean said something about he had to catch up with his girl, and then Will took that line and wrote it in that letter to Sean at the end of the film, which is very interesting, which is a great full circle moment, by the way. We see Sean and Gary work on their past, and yeah, by the end of the film, they are much better. There's some development there. I really love that. Will gets a job offer, so when Chucky knocked on his door, he did not answer, which was what he wanted in the first place. So another great ending. It's like this film has been, so what this film did so great with the endings, that is basically tying up all the loose knots and giving them a great end. And I really like that. It makes sure that there's no loose knots at the end. But Will, instead of going for the job, he went to see his girlfriend, similar to how Sean skipped the game match to go out with his wife when he first saw her. Truly incredible writing going on here. And lastly, Skylar. Skylar has a lot of money when she inherited it from her father, who passed away at a young age. She falls in love with Will, and they spend time together until an argument splits them apart. But nonetheless, Skylar still loved her, and even though Will told her that I don't love you, because he's trying to push her away, he's afraid that she will reject him. So Skylar still loved him nonetheless, and she also knew that he still loved her as well. Such a great character. From start to finish, it was almost perfect, alright? It was almost perfect. I had one tiny drawback, just one tiny drawback with this film. I wish we got to see more of the Wills and Chucky's other two friends, like more something they did that pushed the story forward. Other than that, I thought this film was perfect. Like, I just wish those two had more to do with it. And yeah, this film is phenomenal, a masterclass in character writing. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. But again, I don't know what you're doing, because I literally spoiled a lot of things in this film. But if you still haven't seen it, just go watch it. It's incredible. It's on Netflix right now. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, click the like button. And if you want to recommend me anything to do a video on, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, see you next time. Thanks for everything. You guys are the best.